I'm angry, to be fair. And as a footy club, we've got to grow the up. This football side is better than they know. They're better than they know. They've just got to find a way. And it happens at every club. At some stage, you've got to sit there and you have to grow up. And that's my job to help them. I'm a part of it.
Some interesting words there. That was after the Gold Coast Suns lost to North Melbourne in round 17 of 2024. Since that moment, the Suns, their record has been 16 wins and 10 losses, including 13 wins and 6 losses in 2025. The Blues, from that moment, from round 17, 9 wins, 18 losses, or 9 wins, 19 losses if you want to include the Brisbane final. And it's just such a profound quote that has stuck with me ever since it happened. And also now that we're talking about the round 22 preview between Carlton and the Gold Coast Suns. It's so profound. I remember when I first saw that clip of Damien Hardwick calling out his team, his players, his club. And I remember thinking, and I was critical of it at the time, thinking, nah, you don't do that publicly. You don't tough talk. You just get the job done. And, about a year and a bit later, I wish our club would talk like that. The growing up. The Suns, they've done it. They've done the growing up. I think it's real what they've done since that moment. I've really enjoyed watching them this season. Young leaders who are in their first season. Their captain is in his first season as captain. But they're impressive. They're very impressive. And so as we sit here talking about round 22, as the Blues, we're just waiting till the end of the season at this point. And the Suns, they're pushing. They could still genuinely make the top 4. They're in that conversation. So this is going to be a really interesting matchup and a really telling one for both clubs. The last time we played the Gold Coast Suns was round 11, 2024. That was at Marvel Stadium. Cast your mind back for a moment. It was 15 goals, 12, 102 to 11 goals, 7, 73. Carlton kicked 11 goals after half time. When's the last time we did that? Don't know. At this point in time, Carlton's second halves are just, they're fade outs for the most part. We're coming off a really disappointing fade out in the fourth quarter against Fremantle, it must be said. The attitude in the application looked better than what it had in the previous weeks, and the collectiveness and the spirit, it was definitely better, but ultimately that only accounts for part of what it takes to win a game of football. You've got to execute, you've got to be skillful, the quality's got to shine through, the way in which the ball is moving and the opportunities that are created and then capitalized on has to be there, and it almost undoes. In fact, I think it does. We undid a lot of the hard work, and that's been the story of 2025. Last week against Freo was not new. There might have been some newer faces that were in the team than what we've seen at the start of the year, but by and large, it's pretty much the same thing. And it's been a really interesting week when you look at what's coming from the club. Obviously, they're wanting to highlight the individual performances that are positive. They're wanting to highlight the youth. We heard it in Vossi's press conference. A lot of it is about the youth. And, rightly or wrongly, you still want to appreciate the youngsters that are coming through and showing signs of growth, because ultimately we're in this point now that it is about the future. But I don't know. The Gold Coast Suns were young last year as well, and look at how their coach speaks. And maybe I shouldn't be comparing, because, comparison can be the thief of joy, as they say. But I just look at what the Gold Coast Suns have done, and it's quite sad to say that they've gone past Carlton, another team that's gone past Carlton. So, yeah, it's just another reminder of the disappointment. But it is what it is. So, when is Carlton's grow-up moment? Have we had one? I thought we had a grow-up moment 23 going into 24. So I know that a lot of the talk has been around, oh, it was a fluke. We caught a vibe and we rushed home in 2023. That might be true. But it also, to be fair, it did continue into 2024 for 3/4 of this, or 2/3 of the season. So it was a 12-month period, and I thought the growing up had been done. However, the regression has happened to the most extreme degree, it looks like. So we sit here now with just disappointment written on our faces as supporters. You try and latch onto the hope of the future. Can't even do that because you lose one of the beacons of hope in Harry O'Farrell last week to an ACL, which is now being confirmed officially, and he will miss the remainder of the season and most likely most of next season. So there's that. We're now just, I don't even know what to focus on. Ultimately, it is about the future, and I'm trying to stay present and in the moment, but I just can't help but drift into the future and what's going to happen. And I think a lot of us are feeling that as well. So there's that. George Hewitt, he'll play his 200th game this week. He is one of the few players, I would say, that has been consistent over a lengthy period of time. He's had his challenges, but he is reliable, as I said, consistent. He's George. Nothing more, nothing less. Just does his job. No fuss. I wish we had more players like him who go about it the way he does, gets the job done. Highly respected inside the four walls from all reports. And who knows, maybe we can put in a better showing for a milestone this week. Although I've come to learn that milestones don't really mean anything. It doesn't galvanise a group at all. A year ago, we played Cripps' 200th game, didn't galvanise the group. So we've had milestones. We've had Jacob Wiedering's 200th game, didn't galvanise the group. So yeah, but it is good to acknowledge those who perform at a high level over a lengthy period of time. So Georgia plays 200th game. The injury report came out on Tuesday. We were given some interesting updates on a few players. We were told that McGovern and Fantasia will be available for selection, and they'll put their hand up. We were told that Chera will likely be available for selection, but he needs to get through training, and so he'll be a test. Don't know where you sit on this conversation. So Harry O'Farrell's going to miss, we know. The like-for-like you would think might be Mitch McGovern. There's so much discussion going around a guy like McGovern, and has he got a clause in his contract that triggers an extension? I don't know. I don't know what the number of games is for him. I don't know if that's factual or not. But in the sense of best available this week, McGovern, I think, would be up there if he's fit and available. Don't know what it looks like for the future, but we'll get to that at the end of the year. So that's the update there. And, just another opportunity. See the Blues play before the season ends. We've got 3 more games. We'll push through and we'll get on with it. The Carlton Cheersquad are doing their raffle again this week. They've got a signed Patrick Cripps Guernsey to give away. So if you are interested in entering that, I'll put the link in the description below. You can get around the raffle and maybe win a signed Guernsey by the skipper. And that's it. Saturday night, Marvel Stadium against the Suns, who this was a venue where they struggled. We know it's pretty clear that Damien Hardwick does not like Marvel from his time at Richmond. But I don't know how much you read into the Marvel factor for the Suns and being able to beat them. I don't have confidence that the Blues will get this win. But we'll go. We'll check it out and see what happens. And yeah, I am very sure that we will miss the footy. I'm actually already missing the footy in a way. Like, the footy's here. But what I miss is the footy without the off-field chaos. Experiencing the footy at the moment is weird because, that the team is not anywhere near its optimal. You know that there's things going on off the field. You know that there's the sweeping changes coming. I know that it's been a disappointing year, so it's just weird. It's a very weird time to be a Carlton supporter in my view and in my lens. But we'll get on with it. We do love it. We love it because of a number of reasons, and we just hope for better days. So what about you? How are you feeling ahead of round 22 against the Suns? What do you make around the grow-up factor, the grow-up comments from Hardwick? What did you make of them at the time? And now that we've had about a year and a bit that's gone by, what have you made of the grow-up factor for the Suns? And, do you connect that with anything to do with Carlton and what Carlton needs to do and how Carlton can actually grow up and get on with it and become a force again? Chat to you in the comments. Go from there. Go Blues.